So we're meeting a chap today. Who are we meeting? So,
Guys, we are meeting Ahmed Faraj, Lumofy. He actually got a big investment on Biban, which is Bahrain's Dragon's Den Shark Tank show.
So we're going to ask him all the real questions about, is his money real? What did he do with it? What's the plan?
But more importantly, guys, just want to give you an update. We're working really hard on this podcast. We plan to bring you an episode every week, so we'd really appreciate it if you subscribe, like, comment, and let us know what type of content and guests you'd like us to have on the show.
Make sure you follow us on TikTok as well. And also a big thank you to the team behind the scenes. There's a lot of people that bring this together.
There's a team here.
So I'd just like to say thank you to all of our team members.
But all right, let's go and meet Ahmed. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Hustle Kitchen podcast. I'm your host, Hussain, with my co-host, Omar Rana. Today's guest, Ahmed Faraj, founder of Lumify. You might have seen him on TV, might have seen him on Biban. He actually made the best deal on the show on Bahrain's version of Shark Tank. On this episode, if you're interested in startups, if you're interested in business, you don't want to miss this one. Ahmed.
Habibi.
Been a long time.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a full circle coming back to this building.
Well, I remember like almost 1.5 years back, you guys were operating over here, and good to see you guys again.
Yeah,
good to see you.
So much has happened since then. I have so many questions for you now.
Yeah. So obviously we need to know a bit about who you are, but let's jump straight into it. Who are you?
Wait, can I start this in a slightly better way?
Go on.
Since he did win a show for a pitch, can you give us your elevator pitch?
Oh man, you're really going to go there? All right. Should we time him? 10 seconds. Who you are in 10 seconds.
So this is how I started my pitch in front of the investor. So I spoke about a couple of statistics. So I talk about the millennials and Generation Z. So how they are leaving their jobs. So 90%, more than 90% of millennials and Generation Z, they are leaving their jobs. And I was one of them. We have high level of, again, passion, and we have some sort of high skill sets, and they are not invested in the right place. So this is why we decided to leave our jobs. So we wanted to develop something, and I was one of them, basically. So we really wanted to develop something that brings the alignment between business objectives with the required skill set. So this is how I kicked it off in front of the investor. So yeah.
I hear about the millennials and Generation Z and all this stuff, but I wonder, is there research in the Khalij? Because you always hear about stats in America, but like, is it the same as what's happening in the rest of the world?
I believe, yeah.
Interesting.
There's a high impact because we are driven to an extent from those regions. So there is a high impact from those, like from United States and Europe. Yeah, you can see it's a ripple effect over here.
All right. So what does your platform? What does your platform actually do?
This is what I was trying to get to. When I say elevator pitch, I meant just explain your platform.
So let's go with it. So who are you?
So basically, we developed a learning experience platform that focuses on a targeted approach to accelerate capability building. So the platform focuses on 4 core pillars. So we call it the core 4. So we help organizations to map skill sets, selecting skills towards every job role level. From there, they can assess those skills by using talent assessments, such as psychometric, aptitude, cognitive, and technical assessments. From there, we aggregated our platform with hundreds of content providers, such as, again, Open Sesame, Harvard, TED, Best School, Intuition. So we have hundreds of content providers on our platform where they can generate learning path to fill those gaps or to upskill employees or use it for development plans, and it goes on. Then there is a lot of measurement tools within the platform itself where managers, they can create a personal development plan for their employees, they can rate their employees, they can give them a feedback, they can have one-to-one session on the platform, they can conduct live sessions on the platform. So that's the platform. It focuses on 4 core pillars, which is map, assess, learn, and measure. We started July 2020, and since then, beautifully and organically, we are growing in the region. So we started from Bahrain, and we are operating now in Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait, in Oman, in again United Arab Emirates. So now we're trying to expand more and more. So yeah, so this is in a nutshell about the platform. But it has a lot when it comes to a lot of methodologies, theories behind the platform. What was like? There is a lot of again some sort of theoretical approach that we use to develop the platform itself.
So you just woke up one day and you're like, you know what the world needs? This.
No, it was some sort of a continuous learning throughout my career, and this is where we came based on again COVID as well. Like this is where it started. The direction, especially in this region, was totally taking that the online learning, especially when it comes to corporates. We're purely focused on B2B corporate.
But you actually started before COVID, right?
Correct.
Because I'm sure I was here before COVID, and so now I remember before you were your customer base was in Bahrain, so now you've expanded GCC. That's correct. Amazing.
I started before COVID. I was the CEO and co-founder of another company. Then
which one?
Equilibria.
Okay.
So basically, based on the COVID situation and all of that, that company was liquidated. Then I started July 2020 with Lumify itself.
Okay.
Wait, so you started this after COVID?
After COVID, during COVID.
So during COVID, where a lot of people, so you lost the company, and it's very sad to hear.
Correct.
But instead of being like, boo-hoo me, you're like, yo, I'm going to do something. And then you made this, and then you got funded, bruh.
So basically, we have a bit of a beautiful story behind that. So basically, when the previous company got liquidated, we started, I spoke to the core 3 people with me, the head of technology, the head of content, and head of experience. I told them, guys, I have this much of money. And it's a runway for 6 months.
6 months runway.
6 month runway. So I'm not going to pay myself for 6 months. Okay. So basically I had another runway for myself. And I'm not going to pay you for the first 3 months. But if you join with me, you will get equity in the company. This is where we started. And they accepted. Then, and I promised them, as soon we receive any contract, you will be paid by next month. So they agreed. So we started July, and July we signed a contract. I love to mention the company.
So you got the contract immediately in the same month. You're talking about monetization, not investment.
Yeah. So basically,
it's amazing.
July we started. Everything was like we had an official CR and everything. And I would like to emphasize on the big support and believe in us by GPIC. They really believed in us.
That was your first contract?
First contract.
So those who might not know who GPIC is, who they?
So basically, they are a petrochemical company in Bahrain. It's one of the biggest petrochemical companies in the GCC. And they were very, very supportive, very supportive. They believed in our idea. I had previous relationship with them, so I knew the HR team and the learning and development team. And they gave us this opportunity, and it was some sort of a big push to us to continue what we were doing. Then,
how much runway did that give you? So
basically, approximately around, I had 6 months runway. Like
before,
minusing 3 months, we didn't encounter the 3 months salary. So now I was encountering the 3 months. So approximately, say around 7 to 8 months.
Amazing. After this deal.
Yes.
Okay.
Then August we got another deal. September we got another deal. November we got another deal. So it was beautifully good. It was something that we really didn't expect, but we had some sort of a very strong belief in what we are doing.
Interesting.
And the year after 2021, it was a good growth. We had a good growth. We're talking about 56% on a quarterly basis.
That's not bad.
And this is where it clicked. So the entire concept was, I agreed with the guys that we will not start raising fund unless we have a proven record model. So we need to, I don't want to just go like some sort of a pre-seed and devalue the company and by not having something. We are very business development driven type of a company.
So wait, can we just cover that a bit? Because something you said there is incredibly important for people to understand. But when you say devalue the company, a lot of people won't understand. If you raise at pre-seed versus to a post-money situation, how does that affect your valuation? This is some real technical stuff. But any entrepreneurs out there, you need to hear his explanation of what that means, because the impact of this is huge.
So basically, there is some sort of there's different schools in fundraising. So basically, some countries function differently based on the size of the country, size of the opportunities, type of investors. So some companies, you see their pre-seed round is massively huge. Usually in Bahrain,
Huge. Bit of irony there.
It was a bit different for us. So our valuation was fair in seed round. It was really fair to us. So basically, this is where we raised $500,000 on $2 million valuation. So I see it fair. Some of the people, they said, you are a bit devalued. You should.
Are you talking about the last round?
The last round.
Because I want to get into that later.
Yeah. But for myself, I see it very fair. I was I was satisfied with the deal itself. Yeah. And because we had some sort of different type of investors from different backgrounds, they are coming in on the same table, and I had to balance it out. So we have some sort of a governmental fund, we have an angel investors, we have some sort of let's say traditional investment firm. So it was a mixture of different investors. So it was a bit. This is why we really saw the need of having them all. This is why in the episode itself, when Masha'al offered me the full ticket, I told her, "Thank you so much, but I want you all."
You know, I don't. You didn't watch this episode, right?
But I've got a different question I want to come to before then. Because before the episode stuff.
I don't want to talk about the episode yet.
Okay, if we could, I've got one question, and I know you got a bunch to ask because I know you got more episode related questions. But if you wouldn't mind, it's fine if you don't want to talk about it. But could you talk about what was your mental health like during that period of where you closed the company, started a new one? Because this is the part that you don't hear a lot of people talking about, and the pressure must have been insane on you.
So basically, I took a full risk. So whatever I had money, I just kept it as a runway for myself. So I'm married. I have 2 kids.
You got 2 kids.
I have a mortgage. I have other loans.
Wow.
So it was a very serious full risk, and whatever money I had, I invested in the company. Beside the money, a runway capital for myself to live, basically. Yeah. And even after 6 months since, like I said, 6 months I had a runway where I didn't pay myself anything during the first 6 months. Even after 6 months, I was just paying myself my commitment just to fulfill my commitment. Yes. Yeah. Just to
so what was your mental health like? Did you have people around you who were supportive? What was that? What did that feel like? What were the tough bits? What was the real part where you're like, man, I'm not sure about all this?
I was always telling that to the guys over here. So where we are heading, where we are today exactly, I was seeing it as a sun, how we are seeing the sun. So I had this much belief in what we are doing and how this company, inshallah, will always grow. So I had a very strong belief. The guys, they know me. I'm very energetic. I'm a bit some sort of
energizer bunny.
Yeah. So there was fear, yes. There was worry, yes. But
how did you tackle that? How did you tackle those moments alone where there's fear, there's stress, there's pressure, you've got so much on the line? What did you do to deal with this? You're just like, it's going to be fine. Or like, did you have a mechanism, or what was your support structure like?
So basically, I'm a bit spiritual. So I live based on a certain line or certain, let's say, principles in life. So I have a couple of core values when it comes to how basically life works. So when it comes to really like believing in something, and you really believe that it will work, and I really again, I'm doing my level best to make that thing to manifest, and I totally believe that it will work out based on a normal, let's say, the normal Allah's algorithm.
It's like, do your best, leave the rest to God.
Yes, that was my concept. So this is why I was fully dependable on God's will.
So that gave you comfort.
Fully.
That's amazing, by the way.
I pray always that I maintain the same spirituality. That was a big factor of me continuing and believing that it will manifest, it will work out.
Did people tell you were crazy when you were doing this?
Of course, my family.
Yeah,
But one thing that I would love to to highlight on, I really got a huge support from my father. He was believing in me. My wife, she was behind me, and especially the team, especially Mahmoud and Safa. They really believe, they took full risk. And I have one, Mahmoud Rawini. He's from Egypt, so it's a huge risk for him. It's a huge risk.
Yeah.
I told him, I don't want you to be worried. I'm here to support you, no matter what happens. Just be focused and do what you need to do to make this happen with us. So there was a lot of emotions. There was a lot of ups and downs. There was a lot of, again, from outside it looks, it's a beautiful story, but it had a lot of ups and downs. It had,
that's what I want to cover, because it's the bit that people don't ever hear about.
Because people like to see the end result. And then
they've seen you on TV. They're like, "Oh, it's easy for this guy. Look, he's got money."
No, not at all. We risked everything. I risked my life. I risked my kids' life. I risked my wife's life.
Wow.
It was a total, all in.
And you got to cut back on the family expenses, the luxuries, the small luxuries that we don't appreciate.
2 years, 24 months, I changed my entire lifestyle.
Really?
Totally. My lifestyle was totally different. So I compromised a lot of things when it comes to the way I was living before. The lifestyle that I had before, especially from July 2020 till beginning of this year. My lifestyle was totally different prior to starting the Lumofy, and during that 20 or 23 months, 22 months, it was purely a very low standard when it comes to what I wear, what I buy for myself to wear, and where do I eat, and how do I
Did this change you as a person?
Of course,
like after that, I found that living a minimalist lifestyle brought me so much more happiness. There's what's that Maria Kondo way of living? Have you encountered this?
No.
It's you go through your possessions and you're like, does this bring me joy? And if it doesn't bring you joy, you give it away. So my wardrobe, I gave away probably 70% of my wardrobe. So I just went for everything. Sometimes you're in a wardrobe like, I'm not going to wear that today, and you never wear that thing. So I just got rid of all these things that are not, my possessions stopped owning me. And now I have things that either I make or things that I really love that I wear.
Correct. So one of the things that I believe that in the purpose, it's something something is a lot of, maybe I won't say a lot of entrepreneurs, but there is a group of entrepreneurs. They're building some sort of a startup for a reason of being a millionaire. And that is a very wrong approach looking at it. It's all about the purpose, what you want to do. So basically every person have a different perception of why they are living. So I always ask myself, why am I alive? What I'm going to do in this 60, 70, 80 years, or 30, or 35, or 40 years that I'm living. So the pure purpose behind, again, as I told you, I have some sort of, principles and values. And this is where it really something like it's totally, it works differently if you have a different mindset looking at what you're trying to build. So it has a different, because it's, whatever we are doing today, it's for the reason to have an impact. Yeah. But what type of impact? I ask myself, I ask the team ask themselves, what type of impact we are bringing to the world?
Wow.
This is what is our culture. We're trying to shift the parameters. We are trying to make I was sitting like a couple of days back with the team, and we were discussing. I was sharing with them. I want you to know. I was telling them that I want you guys to know that whatever we are building today, it's not something for us to be famous or to be millionaires or to be billionaires or whatever. Whatever we are doing today, we are shifting the dimensions. Yeah, when we're talking about, and I totally believe in what I'm saying. Yeah, we are shifting the dimension. We are shifting. Basically today we need to be the creators. Today, other countries needs to come back to us to use our services, and we really need to believe in that in order for it to work out. And again, one of the 3 core elements that I really focus on myself and the team, which is the basically intentions. We need to have it right always in whatever we do, in every task we deliver. The intention should be there. A good intention should be there. Persistence, and we call it niyya or israr.
Intention,
Niyya, which is again intention. Israr, which is persistence, and azima, commitment. So basically, those 3 elements, that's one of the core values that we really, this is our
it's your DNA
within Lumofy itself.
So, if I can ask you about that, when are you talking like specifically related to the company and what it's building and what it's providing, or are you talking about like personal, like ambition or mission in the world?
Basically, it's all together.
Same thing.
Yeah, it's all together.
That's so nice. I think we found a new motivational speaker here. Like just listening to you speak, I'm like, brah. Like, do you feel like the odd one out when you say this stuff? Because I haven't heard many people speak like this. It's so nice and refreshing to hear you say this stuff.
Basically, bro, I'm trying to speak from my heart.
Absolutely.
It's so nice.
I feel it.
Honestly, I hope you talk in more places. Share this message.
And I think like, when we go back, like, especially like for a lot of entrepreneurs and startups coming up, and the fact that you managed to motivate your team, get them behind you, to believe in you and believe in the mission of the company, that they would take 0 payment and a risk with you, that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, very.
Not many people would.
I think this is where we really, so basically, relationships, it's something that basically, it's one of the core elements. We are people. We are living with people. So a relationship, it's the core thing of being a human.
Yeah.
And when we talk about being a human, it's filling your purpose as a human. It's the connectivity that you have with others. Yeah. So being open, being ethical, being again, I'm not trying to say that I am all of that. No, not at all. I'm trying to be something else. I'm not saying that I am a good person or whatever, but I try my level best to be some sort of a person who being a human.
Yeah. Perfection is unknowable.
Just being a human. So I think that type of, again, and mashallah, inshallah, the relationships that we have together, me and the team, all of us, me is the team is me, we are all one. This is how we, basically we sacrifice things to each other. This is how was the relationship. But just being as a human to each other. That was the thing,
Wow.
And that's when you guys were, what, 3? No, it was you plus 4.
Yeah.
Now I see you have a bigger team.
Yeah.
How does all of that fit in when you're hiring new people? Because that's obviously a very strong culture that you want to maintain, I guess.
So one of the core elements being part of Lumify, it's the cognitive and behavioral aspect of that person. So we really look into skills, not a big thing for us, okay, because we can build that skill, but we really focus seeing that spark or that type of a willingness. So we try to find people who have high level of willingness, then the ability will come.
Interesting. Do you do those personality tests like
Yeah,
Briggs
we do.
Myers and all that? What are you on Briggs Myers?
I didn't do that. But
you didn't do it?
No, I didn't do that.
But I was going to say, Lumify does these
We
tests,
do that,
right?
yeah,
So do you use your own platform to test your
we do
new
some
stuff?
Sometimes we do our personality inventory. So basically,
nice.
so we have one assessment, they call it a personality inventory assessment that focuses on the big 5 factors. If I do remember, it talks about consciousness, openness, agreeableness, another 2 elements or clusters. So this is where we again tackle the level of agreeableness of that person, the level of consciousness of that person. So it gives us those type of indicators. But at the same time, we do a lot of So usually we do a lot of again, some sort of back and forth interviews, different type of scenario-based type of, we give them some sort of a project to understand them better and better. So we really deep dive into the personality more than the skill sets.
During the interview phase?
And during the interview phase.
Is that like questions like if you were on a boat and there was like a granny drowning, like a kid drowning and the monkey, who would you save? Is it stuff like that? And then like, why did they pick that one?
I've never seen that on a test.
It's me then. I've had some weird interviews.
Again, I'm not trying to sound very perfectionist, okay, or having like the best environment ever or the best culture, but there is some certain principles that we follow to make that, because again, in this stage of business, which is still today, it has a very high level of risk. Yeah, still again, even today we have higher some sort of commitments. We have some sort of higher expectations from the investors, from the people, from our side. So especially being under that type of spotlight, that Lumofy. It's a huge pressure, by the way, and there is sort of that type of expectations from all of the stakeholders. It's very vital for us to build that type of internal ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? Because for it to work, we need to have some certain culture. Because it has, basically, I'm not kidding. I'm really not kidding. The amount of hours that the team today, they are putting in the business, it's crazy. And I have people, they are, I swear to God, at a minimum, they're working 10 to 12 hours a day on a daily basis.
Without asking.
They're just that passionate.
To the extent, I'm talking to one of the guys, I'm telling him, bro,
take some time off.
You need to you're burning out. You need to leave, and you need to take a leave, and you need to travel. You need to switch off totally. You need to switch off. To that extent, alhamdulillah, we have those type of, let's say, team.
Yeah.
And this is because it requires that type of people in this stage. If we don't have those type of people at this stage, because we are scaling up.
So your software helps find those people, right?
To an extent, yes.
To an extent. So like this would be really good for recruitment then, I assume. Like if you're got a business where you need to hire people, like get them to do this thing. And can we have a list of people you would pick to recruit? Because I want some of that.
Of course, the assessment is one side of the recruitment phase. So it gives you maximum credibility than the talent assessment gives you. It's maybe 70%. But there is another element, the connectivity with the person, again, the type of person, and again, there is many different elements for you to make take a decision. So, but the talent assessment plays a very good part when it comes to the recruitment phase.
Clearly from what you're saying, and I think because is your team mostly Bahraini?
Mostly Bahrainis, yes.
Yeah, because what you're describing is what everyone ideally wants in their business, and I'm wondering how much of that is the filtration process from Lumify, let's say. How much of that is? I'm assuming you're the one interviewing and making the final selection.
No.
So you have an HR here as well.
We have an HR here. So final decision also comes to the head of department as well, because at the end of the day they won't work with me directly. Yeah. So this I believe it's better for them to decide if they want that person or not. Again, by putting the analysis in front of them.
Exactly, because this is the thing I was wondering, because normally company culture is set from the top down, right? And so I wonder how much of that is they were just like this, or they just came in and they believed into that vision and it's flowed like everyone else, you know?
It is. I think it's a process. It's a so we are human at the end of the day. Course. We have our ups, we have our downs. We have sometimes our belief is so high. Sometimes you feel depressed or you feel down, which is normal. So it's where it's on a continuous sort of learning that we all going through together, and we are trying as much as we can to support each other throughout the cycle itself. So again, there is for sure the ups and there is the downs within the culture, within the people, within the it's normal. This is how life functions.
Bro, just listening to you, you've like sold me. Like I'm feeling so much passion like coming from you.
And you're such a calm guy.
Yeah,
You're like,
I don't see that. I don't see that energetic thing you're talking about. You're so
Now
like,
I'm
such
being
a calm level. I'm like, oh, this guy's really got it together.
the guy that will laugh at you guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so then let's get onto your non-calm side.
bring
of
the
show.
energetic side.
Let's talk. How did you end up on TV and become an international superstar?
That's big.
International.
That's big. So basically, since June 2020, we started reaching out to investors. Okay, we had our first milestone to start scouting for investors to raise our to raise our seed round. This is where I received an email from Hope. I received. I don't know who recommended, or I saw an advertisement or something about Biban itself. We submitted the application, and it was, I believe, it was in September, if I'm not mistaken. We have been we received an email we have been accepted for Biban season 1, part of among 200 participants. It was around it was in the evening. I was in the office here, and it was something. I directly went to the floor and I prayed to God. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I swear to God, it was something. It was alhamdulillah.
As a thanks.
Yeah.
Did you have a feeling when you got that, you're like, yo, I'm going to do this? Or were you like, no, as anything, I'll do my best? Or did you just no, this is mine?
To be frank, I didn't think of that
No?
at all. No. But
You're just thankful and grateful.
Yeah, I was thankful, grateful, and one thing that we really did, we worked very hard for that episode, for that Biban one. It was something that we really worked very hard for.
But what does that mean practically?
So basically, we did a lot of practice. We were very ready when it comes to our financials, to our product. When it comes to we tried as much as we can to be really fully prepared when it comes to documentation. Send us your data room, poof, it's ready. Send us your financial, it's ready. Send us your financial model, it's ready. Send us your contract, it's ready. Send us your internal legal contracts with employees, it's ready. So we did our level best to be very, very prepared operationally, basically, and to be very open with the investors when it comes if they have any questions. Then we went through a very strong learning curve with them. See, it depends. Yeah, see, it depends on you. So we had a very good team over here where we took it very, very extremely serious. It depends where do you stand with life. What is your background? Basically, how do you live? What is the sense of emergency that you are having currently? So all of that, we had it. You know what I'm saying? We had a sense of urgency. Number one, in our belief, how this product can be useful. Number two, our situation in life, and how we are taking how our career is serious. So this is where we had some sort of we took the journey or the prep. The training session that they had for us prior to the...
Is it a training session before?
Yeah, of course. There was mentors. There was back and forth sort of...
So it wasn't just come on the show and pitch. I thought it was that. So what's the behind the scene journey?
So there is a lot. They bring you mentors from different industries. They bring you some people from, financials backgrounds. They bring you people from startup backgrounds. So there was a lot of back and forth.
So all 200 companies?
No. Only to the 12 participants.
The selected.
To the ones that, okay.
To prepare us for the show.
How long was that journey from being selected to show and the mentorship and everything?
1 month.
1 month, okay.
Oh, so intense.
1 month. It was intense. And back and forth.
And you're still running the business at the same time?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is where we saw basically the pitching and the pitch itself. It was a practice of... maybe I can say hundreds of times.
And you're pitching in Arabic, which is a completely different type of pitch as well. Because normally at these events and shows, you pitch in English.
Yes, totally was our business development, our pitching, all of that. Even previously, when we started pitching out for the fundraising, everything was in English. All of our documents was in English.
You have to translate everything?
They told us you need to pitch it in Arabic. So it was a good experience.
But the document stayed in English?
No, in Arabic.
The
as
paper,
well.
like the financials of this,
No,
all
English,
that
course,
stuff. Yeah.
But the pitch deck
The pitches,
itself and all of
okay.
that was purely in Arabic, and I had to practice. And it was, believe it or not, the emotions in Arabic is different.
I can
The
tell.
the word selection and all of that. It has an impact. By the way, it has an impact.
Absolutely.
And it's because Arabic, it's a very beautiful language. You know, it has a lot of like sort of poemy thinky.
Poetry.
You know?
It's poetical.
You know, English used to be like that. It's just nobody speaks that
If
version
you want
of
to read
English.
like Shakespeare books.
Yeah, basically Arabic and English. Like if you go to Shakespeare, that was the same.
Yeah.
Now English has lost a lot of its beauty.
Correct. So it had those sort of things. So I think we, to an extent, I'm very thankful to God for giving us this opportunity and really being with us with this throughout this journey. It was, alhamdulillah, it was something, the pitch went very well, the discussion went very well.
Oh wait, talk us through the pitch. This guy had like nerves of steel.
Yeah, I mean, I can see
But-
why.
but-
Look how
but-
calm
yeah,
he
but-
is.
but-
Level.
But before you go, can I ask? Because on the show it's like 10 minutes, the pitch or
Correct.
something. How was it? 10 minutes in real
No,
life?
it was more.
How long was it in
I think
real
it was
life?
more than like between 30 to 40 minutes.
Okay.
The show was 30 to 40 minutes, but it was a lot of discussions back and forth, to an extent, negotiations.
So you really did negotiate.
Yeah.
Right
I
there
really
and then. So none of this was like made up.
No,
You
no.
genuinely.
So basically,
here's what's up.
I was expecting, my expectation was to close the deal, half of the deal, to be very frank. That was
Half the amount.
Yeah, half the amount. That was my expectation.
Okay.
But I didn't expect to close it fully in the show itself.
And he got multiple offers.
How did that feel? And so what was that in the side that you've been
It's like
practicing?
he was dictating.
Yeah, so how did it feel? Like all of that risk, you've risked you've got kids, you're married, you've got mortgage, all of that COVID, blah,
Comes
blah,
to
blah,
this
blah, blah.
moment.
And now you're getting multiple offers. Inside of you, like, yes, I was right. How was that?
It was like the feeling was seriously like I can't explain it, to be very frank. It was like, especially I was like, the moment I went out and Mahmoud and I, we hugged each other, and I believe I had a couple of tears as well. I was very thankful. It was an amazing feeling, like reaching to that milestone, stepping stone, and yeah.
So what were you thinking in your mind when you got the offer for the full amount from Mashal? And then you're like, I could just take it now. So the offer's done, it's complete, right? What were you thinking?
So there's no one in your ear giving you advice saying
No,
this
no,
is
no,
all
no.
legitimate.
Yes.
This
On the
really
spot.
is
Yes,
on the spot.
Was this your plan in the beginning? Or did you come? Did you decide that later?
I totally didn't expect that Mashal will she will offer me the full
She's
ticket.
tough on the show.
Come again?
She's tough on the show.
Yeah, she's tough on the show. I really didn't expect that, and when she offered me that, I was again, of course, I was happy, but I really wanted the diversity.
Mm.
The
connections.
The connections. I want the government.
It's called Biban. It's like doors. Like you got 5 doors open for you.
I wanted the government to invest. It has a different effect. I wanted Mashal. She has a strong network. Yeah, she has a good network in the GCC itself. I wanted Abdurrahman. I wanted Yasser. Really wanted all of them. So this is why I told them, if you remember, I used the English phrase. So I said, I divided, we fall, and united we stand.
Yeah.
So this is where I think I had that sort of negotiation that I want you all on the deal itself, because I really believe every one of you will open a different door for us. Then they had some sort of conversation, and we came to a mutual agreement when it comes to the evaluation itself, and it happened.
Amazing. I wonder if we can play that clip during the podcast, or is it copyright?
I think still there's a copyright for us. So
We can reenact.
but okay. Now for the audience who don't know, and even I don't know, from the day the deal's signed till the deal's complete, how long is that process? Because on Shark Tank, just so for people watching on Shark Tank, they say a lot of deals fall through after they're agreed on TV because of audits and etc.
So you mean complete? You mean money in the
complete,
bank?
approved, complete, money in the bank, done.
Money in the bank really happens. Yeah.
it takes around 6 months, 3 to 6 months.
Has it happened already?
Yes.
Done.
Yeah, done.
Okay, so we can talk about it. That's why, because it was in the process, we can't talk about it.
So this is where I also started negotiating with them that we need half of the money. So since when they finalized the audit, finalized the legal audit, and there was 3 elements, like 3 type of audits, and we passed all of them. Of course, it's based. We need to pass those.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So a lot of people, some people failed during that period. Yeah.
So alhamdulillah, we passed those 3 stages, and I directly asked them that I need half of the amount now and half of the amount after incorporation, and they were supportive, and
So if you could have done anything differently, what would you have done differently? On that, while you were live on TV, like, yo, I'm the best.
By the contestants looked like they were sweating. Was there a lot of lights in your face?
To an extent.
Or were they just nervous?
I think no. Nervous.
Nervous.
Okay.
I think the temperature there was around, maybe, if I'm not mistaken, maybe around 18, 17. It was really freezing cold.
Oh, it's freezing.
Because I'm looking, I'm like
cold.
contestants always sweating, whereas judges aren't.
It's nervous.
But yeah, so what would you have done differently?
I think next time, if I'm on a TV show, I'll be thinner.
Wait, did your weight loss happen after the show?
After the show, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
My face was like that. But yeah, I'm just trying to.
Yeah, that's funny.
What else maybe I would do? I think it went well.
It went perfectly. By the way,
I'm just intrigued. Like, you obviously did everything right. It worked. But I'm just like, from your mind, was there anything like, I wish I did it that way, or did it that way, or next time I would do X?
I think it went well. It went well. Of course, there is a lot of things I could do a better pitch if I practiced more. I could, there was, again, for sure there is a room of improvement. But I believe for that day, it's supposed to be like
that.
The way.
That, yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, does your website have as seen on Biban now? Shark Tank projects always do this.
There is the milestones about Biban on
Okay.
we didn't, inshallah, next week the new website will be out, and there is a master video, guys. You need to watch it. It's amazing.
Interesting.
Nice.
So if someone wants to watch this episode, where can they watch it?
Shahid
TV.
Shahid TV, guys. Shahid.
I'm curious. So now, deal's done. It's been more than 6 months, right? How long ago was the show?
It's almost now 6 months.
It's almost 6 months.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Have they also now, as investors now, because obviously they're investors with
Correct.
you, have they now helped open doors and stuff for you?
Absolutely.
Has that grown your business because of it?
Yes, it's so basically, of course, the pipeline really increased. The pipeline interaction really increased post the event, or post the fundraising, for sure. They are supporting me, all of them. I'm not saying that just to compliment them. No, that's serious. This is where when I sit in the board meeting with them, we discuss that. We show the contribution of every person or every investor are bringing to the table with us. So this is something that we discuss on a regular basis. The pipeline, it's increasing beautifully, and the type of our business, it's a B2B, and the closure cycle, it's a bit lengthy.
Yeah,
takes
months.
Natural. So we're trying as much as we can to prove that process, to bring it shorten that period. Yeah.
So are they active or passive with you?
So basically, the board are active. Okay. So we have different people who invest.
Board is completely different people.
No, they are from the investors as well. But the board, the people who we selected to be in the board, they are very active. Very active. Again, I need to give that special treatment to those 3, or special thanks to them. Basically, we're talking about Hope Fund.
Yeah.
Then we have a portfolio manager. Amina, thank you so much. So Amina, she's very
Amina, shout out to you.
So she's our portfolio manager. So Amina, Fajr, they are very supportive, especially Amina, because she's our portfolio manager. So very supportive, opening doors, connecting us, and all of that. Mashal, big time, seriously, big time. She's very supportive. I can see a minimum of 3 to 4 times on a weekly basis we talk to each other.
Wow, that's good.
Nice, that's amazing.
So basically our chairman, Abdurrahman Jeffrey, we didn't announce. I think it's...
Did we just announce now?
Yeah.
Breaking news.
So yeah, Abdurrahman Jeffrey is our chairman. So basically he's one of the investors. And Abdurrahman, I have a bi-monthly meetings with him. And beside that, frequently we are talking to each other. So we have a proper bi-monthly meeting discussing the growth, discussing the problems that we have, the challenges we have. Abdurrahman is wow. Besides that, the others as well, they are supporting for sure. If I need anything, I can give back to them. But actively, those 3 are very active. Hope Fund, Geo Capital, and Abdurrahman Jeffrey, they are very active with me.
So has this whole thing made you now feel like that we can grow more? But I know you've now got extra pressure, right?
Absolutely.
Because before you answered to yourself, now you have a board and
answer to his team. You're not listening.
Well, internally,
It's all team, baby.
but they're supportive.
They are supportive, and of course there is whatever we are drawing in front of investors as an expectations, we are drawing something much bigger in front for us internally.
Of course,
this is how we work. Yani.
Good strategy.
And we have to do it, and we will do it, inshallah, with the grace of God. We have to do it. Today, it's not. This is a very small milestone of getting a seed round. Seed round is an investment now. Using that fund and scaling the business is the game now.
Yes.
To go to pre-series A now.
Yes.
We are. I'm gonna say we are doing our level best and trying to be so as much as we can. Basically, when we talk about that, I'm talking about operation excellency. So we're trying to really find whatever gaps that we have to fill it internally to hit those strategic objectives that we have. So so basically, this is how I distributed my quarters this year. So first quarter was operation excellency. We had to really manage the entire, because from 7 employees we jumped to 18 employees in 1 month. So basically. Onboarding and all of that was we really focused on.
And you have a strong culture that you need to fit in.
And we really worked on the operation excellency, what they call it, first quarter. And second quarter, this quarter, we're really focusing on the financial model. This is my direction this is my objectives, personal objective, besides the departmental and all of that. Like last quarter of 2021 we set all of the, strategic direction and all of that. Based on that, we are implementing those strategies and we are putting them into actions for 2022. So my direction as a founder, I split it into 4 core objectives for the year. Operation excellency. As much as I can, I enable the team where they have the right tools to operate properly by having the best practices, using the best practices type of best practices processes, tools to enable them to deliver their tasks and deliver their deliverables. Quarter 2, which is I'm in now, it's really focusing on the model, making sure that the financial model, it's the financial model that will clear out our growth. Because when we talk about startups, when we talk about financial modeling, we talk about, for example, it's like if I add 4 people into, for example, SDR, sales development officers, the revenue will increase by that level. We are making sure all of those, let's say, conditioning is working within the financial model properly. So this is where we stand, making sure the financial model is proper. That can, inshallah, enable us in quarter 3 to get some sort of soft commitments from investors. That's where I will build a wider relationship.
So Q3, you're going for your A.
No, I'm building some sort of teasing connections, soft commitments, introducing.
So you're gently whispering.
Yes, whispering.
You might want some money later, but not now.
Not now.
Don't get excited.
Which
maybe.
Yes, which we call it soft commitments, where I will focus with investors in quarter 3. I will go to them. I will sit with them. I will explain. I will participate in different startup-y,
Pitches
pitches and all of meetings and conferences and all of that, just to bring the spotlight back. And quarter number 4, we start. If we hit our milestones, we'll start pre-series A fundraising. Pre-series.
So we'll see you on TV in December.
There's a season 2 coming. The season 2 I see coming out.
But I believe the next round will be
outside,
purely
outside
with
money.
the VCs.
VCs, huh?
Yeah.
How far is that milestone? Quarter 4. That's only a few months. Is that a huge milestone, or you're very achievable?
Millions and billions.
So again, when I start
not asking numbers. It's like
when I talk about going like fundraising or quarter 4, it will take 3 to 6 months, or might take 9 months as well. So it's a lengthy period. But our objective is to close it by end of second quarter 2023.
Okay,
that's our objective basically.
Yeah.
For our this is where our milestones. We have some sort of KPIs when it comes to hitting some certain revenues by second quarter of 2023. If we hit that and we are at that place when we are showing the consistency in our MRR, the monthly recurrent revenue. So inshallah.
Well, inshallah, and our prayers and wishes are with you. Before we wrap up, you've gone through the whole process: startup, failure, start again, take all the risks, bring all the team. Share some advice or tips for new entrepreneurs that are coming on the scene.
Being very frank, entrepreneurship is not for everyone. If you think so basically, I believe there is certain type of characters that they fit the entrepreneurship.
Interesting.
Number 1, as fast as we want to grow, as slow you need to be. So you need to be very, number 1, you need to have a very, you have to have that type of, patience. Patience is the core element, patience. When I'm talking about patience, is really through the hard time. You need to have that type of patience where it comes from the belief that you have. And mitigating that, it's not something simple or easy. So it has a lot of, so basically, especially, it has a lot of sacrifices. Your family time, your own time. So you need to really understand, if you want to go into the entrepreneurship, you will look 5 to 10 years older in 2 years.
My wife is.
Ignore my beard.
So
I'm actually 20.
I think it's not like there is nothing such as a luck. There is no luck. I don't believe in luck. Okay, I believe in hard work and smart work. I really believe in that. So you really need to work very hard, and you really need to solve a problem. And when you try to build something, you really need to identify. I really love what Kalo did, Ahmed Faraj.
Yes.
I really love what Wafa Abida did with the playbook, how they started. Both of them, they are entrepreneurs, core entrepreneurs, very passionate people. And at the same time, we have a lot of examples for sure. But I'm bringing those 2 examples because of one core element that they both mutually have. They tested the market out.
With the MVP?
Yes. Kalo, what they did, before they start, Ahmed Faraj, he opened it up for 100 people maximum for the pilot. See, one of the core elements, which Mahmoud Malik, the co-founder, was always saying, our product development is not based on what we think internally.
Yes.
No, it's based on what client expect.
Market-led, yes.
Yeah. So again, this is one of the, if you're starting and you believe you have those type of characteristics as a personality, then yes, you are the right person to start your own business, be an entrepreneur. Number 2, do things based on facts. don't do it based on a, maybe since we started Lumofy, PR wise, till prior to Biban, a lot of people, they didn't know us. We were driven, our drive was selling.
I remember this. It was all about sales.
Yeah.
It's all about sales. Am I billing or not? How much I'm billing this month?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the concept. Selling, making, that's a real scenario. Unfortunately, some startups or some entrepreneurs, they really focus on the PR thing from the beginning, making the noise. No, let the achievements make the noise. Make the noise. Don't focus on, you know. So there is a different, you know, let the actions, let the achievements, let the progressions make this noise. Don't do a unnecessary noise where there is nothing.
Well, I mean, to that point, I guess, because you have a monetized model being B2B, and I think a lot of startups just need the traffic, and they're not even. Don't even have a monetization strategy in the beginning.
I think that comes down to the core model, but yeah, absolutely.
But I love what you're saying. Like,
I agree.
Scientific.
Scientific, and the thing that I always tell people that I'm consulting with, revenue is a cure-all.
Absolutely.
I think people forget that.
Absolutely. So again, guts is something. Don't go with your guts that they're saying, oh, my gut's telling me that. No.
What's the data saying?
Of course,
what did you eat this morning? What's the gut saying now?
So there is some certain routes that you need to really follow, and still we are in a stage that we really need to believe further into what we are doing now and what we were believing, and we really need to implement as much as we can to make it manifest more and more and more. But I believe it's a certain sort of algorithm, okay, which is not magic. It's not magic. It requires consistency. It requires persistence. It requires commitment. It requires belief. It requires, again, being a human, you know, connecting with people, having the right sort of connectivity with your people.
Are you mentoring any businesses? I feel like you should be.
So there is basically a couple of different type of elements that you really need to stick to, where you make it happen, and it will happen, inshallah, with God willing.
To believe, don't dream.
I believe you really need to see where you're heading, and by seeing where you're heading, like you're living it. That type of belief that you need to have. But at the same time, you really need to understand where do you stand today. And you really need to understand what is the, you need to have the full, again, as much as you can, you have a data. You need to drive, or, you know, you need to work based on a data driven, where you understand the market size, you understand what is the opportunity. Okay, if I'm starting something B2C in Bahrain, okay, what is I need to see the previous experiences with people. I need to sit with them. What was their, again, success stories? What was
previous
their
business owners?
What was their failure? Okay, how many months that I can survive within a B2C in Bahrain? There is B2C in Bahrain is a bit. I believe it's difficult. You need to have a very unique idea. You need to be, again, it should be something that really needful in the market where people will come, and
because you need mass market in a small market.
So I will do it in Bahrain for 6 months, 8 months to, I test it out in Bahrain, and I scale out. My fundraise will be based on scaling out, for example. But Bahrain, it's a beautiful country to test things out and to see how the model work. Yeah. Then again, Bahrain is a beautiful country and a great country to to have your headquarters in. Then you can scale up. So we have big startups. They're operating from Bahrain, which they raised hundreds of millions, or 20, 13, 40. I don't just want I don't want to bring names, but I'm saying a lot of big startups, okay, they are operating from Bahrain. But they have offices.
Tech startups?
Yeah, they have offices in, for example, in Dubai. They have offices in Saudi Arabia. But operationally, it's a very, again, you have a good ecosystem operational when it comes to the supports for the Bahrainis, when it comes to the, the perks that you have. It's a good country basically, and specifically for foreigners. It's a place where it's a bit very calm. You know what I'm saying? And you can connect with Bahraini faster. You have the sort of. You agree with me, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a place that's very comfortable.
I think if nothing works out for any reason, Ahmed, in the future, EDB promoting business Bahrain.
Yeah, they need to just send
You got this, bro. You got this.
They're doing an event. Just send him.
Send Ahmed. Send Ahmed. I'm with you.
What you're saying is also true.
It's so true.
Yeah, like you're not making this stuff up. The reality is we've both been there about over a decade, and this is true. A great many people don't understand that, or haven't experienced it because it seems unlikely, but it is actually true.
Correct.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I always said Bahrain's the best kitchen.
It is, yes.
Like,
it
especially
is.
even when you scale,
Yes,
it's the
is.
best kitchen.
Yes,
to have.
Yeah, life's comfortable here. I always tell people as well that, look, being a foreigner, growing up in London, there's bits, if you're Bahraini, you wouldn't understand how much it means, but you're never, ever going to be robbed or attacked in Bahrain. You can wear a money suit. Just like staple some money. People look at you weird, like, what's wrong with that, dude? But nothing's going to happen. Yeah. And I don't know anywhere else where that's true.
No, you're right. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, I don't wear my watch when I go home.
And I think
we only wear it in Bahrain. You get worried. No, London. No.
You're from a country that people get stabbed all the time. But
well, 'cause Australia's better. Oh yes, and sharks will eat you.
but no, I mean, I think just to end on your point, like I think a lot of expats might not know. Is your tech team in Bahrain?
Yes.
Your developers?
Yes. Fully.
How talented are developers in Bahrain?
They are, man. Mashallah. We have talented people in Bahrain. To an extent, there is certain areas where, for example, certain languages. I'm being frank over here. So basically, there is certain languages in tech in Bahrain. We don't have a lot of calibers, but when you bring them and you train them, they learn it.
Fast learners.
Yeah, I think we got a supply problem.
Yeah.
I think it's a willingness. I think it's just there's not enough. You know,
because of how many startups and every bank wants to have internal.
Exactly.
You're
like
right.
you just need more people learning more modern languages and more like access. But it's just a time thing.
It is a time thing.
It's a time thing.
Any last words you'd like to add, Ahmed?
I think you asked me that question, and my last thing was to 15 minutes. Sorry for that. My last thing.
Those were tips for startups. Last words from you,
Habibi. So thank you so much for having me in this podcast, and it's a great pleasure. And wish you all the best, and again success for sure. And please wish us all the best as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And so everyone watching, Lumify. It's lumify.com.
Lumofy.com.
Lumify.com. Check them out. If you have a business, you need this in your business.
Thank you so much.